Hi everyone. Today we're talking about how to figure out the difference between a physical and virtual machine when you're just logged into it. So when you're managing hundreds or thousands of servers or computers, it's sometimes hard to know exactly what you're working on. So I found these quick little things that work pretty well. So if I do an ls CPU on this one, this is a physical machine, and I'll show you a virtual machine here in a moment. But as you can see, this is a little Raspberry Pi. It mentions nothing about virtualization. Now, if I were to do this on this box, CPU, we can see that the hypervisor vendor is VMware, which means this is running on VMware. So if I were to do lscpu rep, and let me grab hypervisor, just so if you wanted to shorten it up to get a less of or a narrow result, I guess, instead of getting all the information. But you can see they're kind of similar, these two, but there's a lot more information because it's a virtual machine. So that's how you do it on a Linux machine. And lscpu is almost always on a Linux machine. It's not something extra you have to install, so that's why I like it. On Windows, it's a little different. So yeah, I like to run this PowerShell. And then there's actually a command, hopefully. It's this get sim instance and then win32 underscore BIOS. And when you run that, you can see that the manufacturers, what I usually go off of is VMware in this case, which means this is a virtual machine. But if you were to get something like HP or Dell, or then you would know it's a physical machine. It also may pull like the motherboard manufacturer, so you might get something like Asus or Gigabyte or whatever, whoever made your board. It just depends on if it's a pre-built machine or if it's a COTS type machine where you bought it from Dell or HP and Lenovo or whoever. So that's how I determine what I'm working on. Sometimes there are things, Windows especially, is if you use the older E1000 NIC on VMware, it tends to just stop working, and so the fix is to not use that and use a different driver. But anyways, that's how you do it. Anyways, I hope you find this helpful, and thanks for watching. Push the buttons you're supposed to push, and until next time.